This episode is sponsored by The Break Room, downtown's best spot for a hot lunch every business day.
On this episode, the senior art exhibition of Washburn University student Chelsea Howe, the Gypsy with the Indy Top Town Film Festival, Shaina Morovec with National Pancake Day for Children's Miracle Network, and USD 437 Superintendent Brenda Dietrich, this year's ABWA Woman of Distinction.
Well, folks, so we're here with my niece, Chelsea Howe. She's been, we'll call you an intern with Talk About Topeka. You've provided some much-needed artwork that we've needed it as we've needed it here on the show. You are a student at Washburn University, and you're preparing to do your senior exhibition. How are you, Chelsea?
I am wonderful, Uncle Chris.
Now, you're the first person who's ever been able to come, the only one, really.
Yes.
Very good, very good. So you're in a senior this year, obviously.
Yes, I am. Finally, I get to graduate.
Yeah?
And that means that I have to put on a senior exhibition because the BFA program requires you to at Washburn. But it's very exciting.
And that's just kind of one phase of your art experience here. So what's your favorite thing to do in art? And kind of explain your medium here. What do you do?
I am a graphic designer, and I love to digitally create anything from digital art that may be advertisements or posters, even laying out newspapers, magazines, the yearbook for Washburn, because I am the art director this year for the 150th.
That's a huge
Washburn,
thing.
yes.
The art director for the sesquicentennial. Sesquicentennial.
Sesquicentennial. Yes.
The big word.
I did not name it.
Big word, big event.
It's not titled that. I know a lot of yearbooks, when the universities get around, they're always like, oh, it's going to be so original. I'm going to call it Sesquicentennial. And I've just decided to call it 150.
What?
Just spelled out 150.
Very nice,
yes.
Very nice. That'll be great. So tell us about that experience.
That was very new. I'd never even been interested in yearbooks before, and I was brought on to just in general to be an art director, and the yearbook felt a little bit tacked on because I was mostly focusing on the magazine and the weekly newspaper we produce.
The Washburn Review?
Yes, yes. And I've never actually been interested in a yearbook. I never thought that it was important. I was never really interested. Some of my friends did in high school, and it was great in high school, but in college I wasn't sure how I was going to make that work. But I've gotten to go and talk with a lot of people and did a lot of research, and I finally understand what it needs to be this year and how important a yearbook can be.
Okay, so you've got your senior exhibition coming up. Tell us about that.
So my senior exhibition is called Gingerly Genuine.
Gingerly for the red hair?
For the red hair,
yeah,
and at the same time, gingerly also means cautious. And a lot of what I deal with in my artwork is things that matter to me cautiously, because it's hard when you're writing on a line when you don't want to offend anybody, but you want to get your point across, but you don't want to make them feel too bad, and I'm being cautious with how I decide that I want to show people what I want to show people.
Very cool. So explain what we're going to see when we go to your exhibition.
So I have a lot of my digital artwork that I've done professionally, non-professionally, some in class. I have some inspirational posters like they have little puppies and kittens on it, and it's supposed to be like a motivational feel-good poster. I have some logos that I designed. Some other posters I remember designing for Rosemary's Baby with the little labels on like a Rosemary's Baby food bottle. And
there's some work you've done here actually for Talk About Topeka in our fun forecast.
Yes.
Yeah, we had an event. There was a lot of things happening at the Expo Center, and you were able to kind of visualize there what a picture of all of the events happening in a weekend at the Expo Center would look like. That's a pretty cool picture.
Yeah, it was really fun to draw that one. I remember them telling me what exactly was all going out, and I sketched it out, and then I inked it and digitally scanned it and colored it. And it took me about a day for the entire thing, and it was only used for 9 seconds. And so all that work being put into it for 9 seconds, I mean, it's still great, and I had fun doing it and everything, but thinking about all that other stuff that other professionals do where it's only used for like 3 seconds.
That's what it is. Or like you're making movies in Hollywood and it ends up on the cutting room floor and you put like your whole life into it and this didn't even make it in.
Oh my gosh,
Can you imagine that?
Oh yeah.
It's like, well, as long as the paycheck cashes, then I guess that's really what matters.
Yeah.
Well, folks, here we're sitting with a familiar face. It's the Gypsy from downtown Topeka, TopCon. We're talking about the Top Town Indie Film Fest happening April 11th. How are you?
I am doing great. How you doing, Chris?
Good, good. I was saying that, and I realized I put a piece of paper over top of my notes as I was looking down trying to make sure it was right.
I'll remind you of everything. Don't worry. I got you covered. I got your back. Got your back.
Well, a wonderful idea. TopCon was a huge success.
Fantastic success.
And that's coming back, and you're doing it again next year?
Yep, September 18th, 19th, and 20th.
Yeah, and you're moving to a larger venue.
Yeah, the Ramada Inn downtown Ramada. Oh, I said Inn. Sorry, it's downtown Ramada. Don't
there you go. I heard nothing. But everybody knows what we're talking about.
They know what we're
That's
talking
good. About. So we've got another little piece coming up here that you're working on. Another great project, Top Town Indie Film Fest. Tell us about it.
Well, the Top Town Indie Film Fest is exactly what it sounds like. It's a film festival for independent filmmakers. We're wanting to get the unsung heroes, the creative talent involved here. We want the Tim Burtons of tomorrow. I think he was fresh out of high school, if I remember right, but he was young, extremely young. He did a 20-minute short called Frankenweenie. Now,
I'm writing this down.
You need to look it up on YouTube because it is on YouTube. Okay. Used his own dog as the star.
Okay.
Okay.
Was it a wiener dog?
It was actually a Spud McKenzie type.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay?
All right. Okay.
And I'm not sure what that breed's called. Some type of bull terrier, you know. But anyway, excellent film. 20-minute black and white film, and this kid, this unknown Tim Burton, comes along. He does his film, and it was a huge critical success. You know. That's what got his start. That's what launched him. We're looking for those Tim Burtons. We're looking for these people, whether they be in college, whether they be in high school, whether they're amateur, whether they may have done some professional stuff. Okay, that's fine. But we're looking for this untapped creative talent that want to get their work seen. You know.
Yeah.
And
to network that talent with other like talent.
Exactly.
You never know what can come from that.
Exactly.
If you've got a film that fits within this criteria that you've worked on, if you want to look at this as a challenge to put something new together and network with some of your film geek friends, this is a great opportunity to do so. Of course, that's the Gypsy, and thank you so much for telling us about the Top Town Indie Film Fest happening April 11th. Of course, the deadline for that is March 1st.
Deadline is March 1st. Get your submissions to us.
Okay, and then how are people finding out about this?
Go to topcon.us/toptown. Okay. All the information is there. Let me say it again. topcon.us/toptown. All lowercase. Okay.
Good.
Go there, and you'll see the link for the application, and all the information is in the application. Everything you need is in the application.
Very good. Well, you heard it here, folks. If you've got those films and you're looking to get them out there, we've got a great opportunity here in the capital city to do that. Thank you so much.
Dying to see them.
All right. Very good. Very good. And I'm dying to see them too. I get to see them too.
Excellent.
Yeah, right.
Thank you,
I get to
Chris.
come along, right?
Yes. Actually, you're one of my judges. You didn't know that, did you?
Yep.
You're
I'm
one of my
ready.
judges.
I'm
All right.
ready.
Cool.
I'm judging.
Awesome.
So the judging eyes of judgment are watching, folks. Well, folks, here in the studio, we've got Shaina Morovec, and she is with the Children's Miracle Network at St. Francis. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Chris?
Great. Thank you so much for being here with us today. In our new studio, we've got a lot of fun going on here. It's a lot of excitement going on, so appreciate your patience with all that as we're running around getting this ready to go here today. But we're talking about National Pancake Day.
That is right.
You know, there's a lot of national days for things, but this is a great opportunity to have pancakes and help out a great cause. With IHOPs. Tell us a little bit about this.
That is right. So National Pancake Day is on March 3rd. It's on Tuesday. And this day is where you can go into any of your local IHOPs and get a free short stack of pancakes from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
It sounds like a winner to me.
It does.
It's a whole day to get pancakes, morning, noon, and night.
Absolutely. But wait, there's more.
Oh, yes, all right.
In exchange for pancakes, we ask that you do a donation, so you're able to get free pancakes and give back at the same time.
Very good, very good. So they're giving free pancakes, people are giving great donations, and we're helping out the Children's Miracle Network. What is that exactly does the Children's Miracle Network, as I get tongue-tied here, what are we doing here with St. Francis and the Children's Miracle Network?
So St. Francis Children's Miracle Network is able to serve 15 local counties, and with all the donations we receive, the donations stay local, which is really fantastic. What we're able to do is we grant out about $40,000 every year to local families.
Excellent.
We're able to help with travel assistance, prescriptions, specialized equipment, and even developmental therapy, which insurance doesn't cover.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we're also able to give back to the hospital and improve the pediatric departments. Children's Miracle Network has been serving this area for quite a long time. This will actually be our 10th anniversary for National Pancake Day. So,
wow, 10 years of free pancakes.
Yes,
huh?
10 years of free pancakes, so we hope everybody comes out and participates in that.
Excellent, excellent. And has it been IHOP for the whole time?
It has been IHOP.
I've been a good friend here to the Children's Miracle Network.
Absolutely. IHOP is a great partner. Last year in 2014, IHOP alone raised $5,000 just on National Pancake Day. So
wow.
It's a huge event. So we love it.
Yeah, and who doesn't love pancakes, of course.
I know. I agree.
Very good, very good. Well, I'm excited about it. National Pancake Day is March 3rd, and that's at IHOP's from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Just making sure you have plenty of time to write this down and get out there, get it into that calendar, of course. So.
We hope you do. Go breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They're available.
Just make 3 contributions, and then we're good. So yeah,
that's right.
Well, Shaina, thank you so much for joining us on the show. I really do appreciate it, and we wish you the best of luck with everything that the Children's Miracle Network is working on, and especially with National Pancake Day. Hope a lot of people get out there and show their pancake love.
All right. Well, thanks for having me, Chris.
You bet, you bet. So we've got a woman of distinction here in the studio with me. It's an honor to have Dr. Brenda Dietrich here from USD 437 Superintendent. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We've been talking a little bit about the ABWA Scholarship Luncheon that's coming up, and you are the honoree this year. Congratulations.
Well, thank you so much.
Lots of great things happening. It's a wonderful scholarship opportunity. That's first and foremost, a little bit we were talking before here. The most important part is that this is raising money for young ladies who can get some scholarship help to get through school.
Exactly, and that's really what really inspired me to agree to be recognized, was because it was an opportunity to be able to provide those scholarship dollars for young ladies who might not have an opportunity to further their career. And scholarships helped me when I was in college, working on my master's and my doctorate, so it's, I think, an opportunity for me to be able to give back a little bit, you know, by being the center of attention, which is not something I really would like to be the center of, but it's for a good cause. People who are
at the center of attention don't necessarily like to be there all the day.
But it's for a good cause.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you've spent 14 years here at Auburn Washburn, and what's it been like here leading the district?
You know, this is a great, great school district. I think Topeka in general is a wonderful community. I'm not from Topeka, so when my family moved here 14 years ago, I wasn't really sure what to expect, except that everybody that I met when I was interviewing was so warm and welcoming. And that held true for when we relocated here and I became the superintendent. Everybody has been very kind, very caring, very interested and helpful. And you'll go places and it's like a small town. People know one another and they remember you. And it's just been very delightful. Now the school district has changed quite a bit since 2001 when I arrived.
There's been a lot of growth.
A tremendous amount of growth, but not explosive growth, so we've been able to manage it. We grow between 50 and 100 students a year, which is manageable growth. There have been a couple of instances where we've had unexpected growth. I think the largest number we've grown in one year was 168 students, maybe 6 years ago. And then last year we grew 155.
Wow.
Those were relatively unexpected. And I've been asked before, so what do you attribute to that growth? I really don't know. You know, Topeka itself is not growing that rapidly. So I don't know if it's an influx of students from parochial schools where maybe the tuition is too hard on the family, or you know, parents moving into Southwest Topeka from other areas of Shawnee County. I really have no answer for that.
We have another baby boom going on, right?
Well, you know, that's interesting that you should even mention that, because we do, at Kindergarten Roundup, we have the new kindergartners come in each year in the spring with their families to get to know the building, and we do a little assessment of them, get them on the school bus, show them around the building, take pictures. And one of the things we notice is how many moms are expecting, have baby carriages, how many toddlers are they bringing with them, because that kind of gives us an idea whether or not there is a baby boom. And sometimes when we're driving around the district, we look at playground equipment in the backyards, you know, those little Tykes plastic playground pieces. How many families have that?
You notice more at one time than another. Yeah,
exactly.
What's something that you've been really proud of that in 14 years at Auburn Washburn, that, you know, an accomplishment here?
Well, you know, none of my accomplishments are mine. They really belong to the staff that I work with and the wonderful school boards that I've had over the years. Nobody who's on the school board right now was a school board member when I was hired, which is always kind of a challenge as you get to know new people, because I have 7 bosses. But I think some of the accomplishments that I think as a district we should be very proud of are things like full-day kindergarten. We were the first school district in Shawnee County to implement full-day kindergarten in every building, all-day, everyday kindergarten. And that took a lot of planning, a lot of preparation, and the superintendent prior to me, who retired, Howard Schuler, had laid the foundational work for that because the district had passed a bond that allowed them to build more classrooms. When you go to a full-day kindergarten program from a half-day program, you need twice the number of classrooms and twice the number of teachers.
Oh boy, yeah.
So we had 12 kindergartens that were half-day in 2001, and in 2002 we had 24 sections of kindergarten with 24 teachers.
Wow.
So that was, to me, that's something that I'm, you know, so grateful for the community that they supported our ability to do that.
Yeah.
And now full-day kindergarten's the norm. You know, most districts in our area have full-day kindergarten, and it's free. You don't pay for full-day kindergarten. Some of the larger districts in Johnson County, folks may not know this, but you have to pay to send your child to full-day kindergarten, and it's a significant amount of money.
Really?
It's like paying a private school tuition.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yes, so that's something Shawnee County should be proud of, because we don't charge other than the typical textbook rental fee. Then the other accomplishments that I think we should be so grateful for, again, was in 2007 we passed a bond, and at the time it was the largest bond in Shawnee County, for $67.95 million to build a new elementary school, because we were outgrowing, you know, our existing buildings. We'd added on several times, and we needed to renovate the very old high school, the middle school, and add classrooms to each one of our elementary buildings, and to create more secure entrances, because, you know, safety and security has become a very important, I guess,
concern.
Well, I hate to say concern because I don't want to raise people's concern, but it's become a very important issue. Topic. Yes,
it's a hot button issue.
It is for school districts, as you hear more and more, you know, tragic kinds of incidents that occur in school buildings of all places. So we have to be sensitive to that, and so we did our very best with many consultants helping us to make more secure entrances in all of our buildings, which I feel very good about. We have a video system in all of our buildings too, that we can monitor the entrances and other significant areas around the building, the perimeter of the building, to see if there's anything we need to be concerned about during the day.
Another aspect where that technology's helped
yes,
out quite
and
a bit.
Absolutely. And the technology that, here's another thing that, you know, that I really feel we've handled well. Besides the growth in the district and having to make a few boundary changes, it wasn't horribly, excruciatingly painful for the parents, because we brought them in, we had a committee that worked with us, we had a demographer who showed us where the growth was, we talked about which neighborhoods would need to go to the new building, which doesn't sound like such a bad thing, but if you're used to going to a different building all of your life, it can be very emotional. So that went relatively smoothly, and I was very pleased about that. But the other thing that I think we've handled really well is the influx of technology in classrooms. A lot of folks will be going to, a lot of school districts, you know, will promote the fact they're going to a one-to-one initiative and everybody's going to have an iPad. Well, our approach has been, let's purchase the technology that supports the curriculum. Let's just not give you a device because that's a fun thing to do or a popular thing to do. We want to make sure that what we're spending our dollars on, because it's very expensive, makes sense and will be an enhancement in the classroom, not just a fun device for you, the student, to have.
Yeah.
So I feel very good about that. We've been a little slower than some districts because we're making very prudent decisions about how we're spending that money, and I think in the end, we'll have spent it very well.
Well, I think it does make a wise decision
Yeah.
because technology does change so fast.
It
So
does.
to be the first in line for something is not always the best.
Exactly.
I like to wait, when the new upgrade comes
Yes.
out, I like to wait for some of the bugs to get worked out first. So
Exactly.
Good
Exactly our plan.
yeah, very good, very good. So the ABWA, the American Businesswomen's Association, decided to honor you this year as their Women of Distinction.
Much to my surprise.
What's it been like, to be accepting this honor?
Well, it's absolutely lovely. Although, as I said earlier, it shouldn't just be about me, because all the things that I've done have really involved a team of really skilled and quality people, and supportive board members and great community working together to accomplish our goals. But it has been very, very nice. We'll have the luncheon on March 10th. I understand there are folks that work with me that are going to be doing some presentations, and I think it's not supposed to be a roast, so I'm hoping they remember that. But hopefully it'll be entertaining. So.
That's what I tell my family at Christmas every year. Please don't roast me again. Wonderful time. So that is going to be March 10th, and it really does help a lot of people out, and it raises a lot of funds. It helps people get through school, and any kind of initiative like that is really something worth stamping off.
The goal is to raise, as I'm sure you're aware, thousands of dollars to be able to support young women to go to either Washburn University or Wash Tech. And I couldn't be happier to be a part of that. To me, that is really what it's all about, giving back, and this is one small way that I can do that.
And Washburn is so great with scholarships as well, and the Topeka community working so hard to make sure that there's scholarships available at a time that a lot of people, without that, would they be able to go to college?
College is much more expensive today than it was when I was in school, when I was getting my degrees. And even then, I needed the support of some scholarships myself. And so I understand that completely and support it 100%. So anything that I can do, I'm happy to do, even though I really don't necessarily want to be the center of attention.
You'll do a wonderful job.
I'll do it for them.
It's an honor, certainly well worth honoring you for, because, you've had a wonderful career, and we really do appreciate all your dedication to the folks in USD 437.
Well, I love my job. I've loved everything about it, and retirement is a hard decision to make, when you love what you do. But hopefully at the end of the day, I hope that people will think that we've taken very good care of their kids.
Maybe you should take a little trip down to Australia and just check out how it's been going down there.
I'm sure it's changed dramatically since I was there.
If you do, come back and tell us. We want to know. Well, thank you so much. Really do appreciate you coming by today. That's Dr. Brenda Dietrich here, USD 437 Superintendent, and this year's AWBA Woman of Distinction. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You bet, and congratulations again.